Think about cultures throughout history. In Judaism, it's the bar mitzvah. It marks the point when a boy is told, you're now responsible as a man. In certain tribal communities, rites of passage involve ceremonies and trials where elders publicly declare manhood on a child. Even in modern life, moments like military service, graduation, or fatherhood often becomes recognition events. When that declaration is missing, young men often search for it elsewhere. When do you become a man? The science of manhood and the power of recognition. Have you ever wondered this? When do you actually become a man? Is it when you hit 18, when you get your driver's license, or maybe when you become a father? Now here's a thought that may surprise you. You don't become a man until someone else declares that you're a man now. That recognition, that spoken affirmation might just be the missing piece to our cultural conversation about manhood. I'm Lem Usita, and on this channel, we explore identity, purpose, and the forces that shape who we are. And today we're diving into what I call the science of manhood. And it all comes back to one idea. Our brains and our psychology crave affirmation. So we don't step into manhood in isolation. We all need a voice outside of ourselves that says, you're a man now. We see it in you. This isn't just philosophy, it's backed by sociology, psychology, and anthropology. Let me show you how it works. And then I'll give you 5 things you can do to move through this process in a healthy way. So the first thing's this. Researchers in sociology call this a status passage. You're not born into manhood, you are confirmed into it. Symbolic interactionism says identity forms through reflected appraisals. In other words, I see myself the way I think you see me. Think about cultures throughout history. In Judaism, it's the bar mitzvah. It marks the point when a boy is told, you're now responsible as a man. In certain tribal communities, rites of passage involve ceremonies and trials where elders publicly declare manhood on a child. Even in modern life, moments like military service, graduation, or fatherhood often becomes recognition events. When that declaration is missing, young men often search for it elsewhere, sometimes in gangs, sometimes in destructive peer groups, because the need for affirmation doesn't ever go away. All boys need it. So if manhood requires recognition, what does that mean for you and me? How do you actually move through the process in a healthy, life-giving way? Now, let me give you 5 things. Number 1, seek out mentors who can speak into you. You can't declare manhood for yourself and expect it to stick. Human beings are wired for mirrored identity. We learn who we are when others reflect it back to us. Psychologists call this the looking glass self. And if you've never seen maturity in you, you're left questioning whether you measure up. And that's why mentors are critical. A father, an uncle, a coach, a pastor, a professor, these people hold the social authority to say, you are ready. And without their words, many young men go searching in unsafe places. So don't wait passively. Seek out mentors. Ask them to walk with you, challenge you, and eventually name in you the qualities of a man. Number 2, invite the conversation. One of the biggest barriers is silence. Older generations often assume you know that you're a man, so they never say it. But psychology tells us silence is not affirmation. The brain fills silence with doubt. That means you may need to take initiative. You might say to a mentor, you've seen me grow. Would you be willing to share where you see my maturity and what manhood means for me now at this point? Now, it feels vulnerable. It might even be a weird conversation, but when you invite the conversation, you're actually exercising agency. You're stepping into the liminal space where identity is clarified. And in most cases, you'll find that people are more than honored to confer manhood on you. They feel honored that you would ask them. Number 3, pay attention to milestones. Milestones are natural thresholds where recognition carries the most weight. Anthropologists have showed that rites of passage always have three parts: separation, transition, and incorporation. That last step, incorporation, is the moment of public declaration. Think about graduations, getting your first paycheck, military service, boot camp, marriage, or fatherhood. These are moments when your life is visibly shifting. And if no one speaks into them, the milestone can feel empty and hollow. So when you hit a milestone, mark it with intention. Don't just throw a party. Ask someone to speak blessing, affirmation, or recognition over you. That word transforms a personal achievement into a communal declaration of manhood. Number 4, redefine manhood around responsibility and not domination. This is where culture often gets it wrong. Many men are told they become men when they dominate, when they can conquer, when they can fight or suppress their emotion. And the problem? That definition is fragile. It collapses the moment someone stronger shows up or the moment life demands empathy instead of aggression. True manhood is rooted in responsibility. In sociology, responsibility is the marker of adult status. You're trusted with the well being of others. Psychologists add that men who embrace responsibility report higher meaning and stability in life. So, when seeking recognition, don't settle for shallow affirmations like, "You're tough enough now." Look for affirmations that connect to responsibility. "I trust you to lead. I see your integrity. You can be counted on to care for others." That's what sustains manhood long term: responsibility. Number 5, become a conferrer of manhood. Now, here's the paradox: part of becoming a man is learning to name manhood in others. Recognition is not a one time event, it's a relay. When you affirm the growth of a younger man, you don't just build him up, you reinforce your own identity. Social identity theory calls this prototypical membership. When you recognize someone else as part of the group, you solidify your own belonging in it. Isn't that great? So, who are the younger men in your life? Your kids, your nephews, your students, teammates? Speak it out loud. "I see maturity in you. I trust you. You're stepping into manhood. You are a man now." Most boys, all boys, need to hear that from a man. That act doesn't just change them, it cements in you the truth that manhood is about generativity, building others up, not hoarding power. Now, why does this matter? When manhood is never confirmed, insecurity festers. Men chase affirmations in harmful ways through aggression, addiction, or endless achievement. But when manhood is confirmed wisely, something different happens. Confidence grows, relationships stabilize, and communities thrive. In other words, affirmation isn't just a nice to have, it's the science on how identity sticks. So here's my challenge to you this week: identify one person who has shaped your journey and ask them to name out loud what they see in you as a man. And then turn around and do the same for someone younger than you. And if this conversation stirred something in you, hit subscribe and share those video with a friend who's wrestling with manhood and what manhood really means. Because we don't step into manhood alone, we step into it together. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in another video. And don't forget, be unique, but belong.